This is how to know if your personal growth has been successful. It's important that we know this because if we don't, we're likely going to miss very important things and keep looping back on ourselves, overthinking, not sure whether things are working, not sure whether we're actually making progress or not. Because the weird paradox is a lot of the times we realize more problems and more issues. So if we're able to actually recognize when do those problems and issues not become a problem or issue anymore, the sooner the better. The first step is that you're actually interested in this video. It's important that you have interest in the tracking of your personal growth, because if you don't, the likelihood is that you're going to overthink. I was exactly like that. It's the reason I made this video. So my job is to get you to complete clarity at the end of this so that you don't have to overthink anymore. Especially when there is so many dopamine intoxicating videos that you're actually clicking on a video that is about your personal growth that hasn't got a clickbait thumbnail or a clickbait title. It's just genuinely telling you straight up what it is that you're looking for. The fact that you clicked that is pretty big. The second point is that you no longer need to feel like you need to heal. It's a pretty obvious one, but it's absolutely important. Like, you no longer believe that you need this healing process that is going to like someday do what? What are we looking for? What result are we looking for from that? Are we like, let's just put that into perspective. Are we looking to be completely, absolutely 100% healed one day? Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's going to happen? And do you think then, after all that work, then what, you're going to be happy? No. The point of healing is to be in the state, which isn't really a state, but to be at the place of healed. Because the body and the mind are always going to be in the world of imperfection. So to look for perfection on the world, on the relative world, is the most ridiculous thing we can do. It's like chasing a carrot. What we can do, however, is recognize the absolute innate healed aspect of ourselves, which is consciousness itself. It's the one that's listening to these words. It's the aware aspect of your experience. This is what is absolutely healed. You could never not be healed. And it's what you are on a fundamental level. So if you recognize that, which by this stage maybe you already have, the job now is to let that piece of that recognition, because consciousness with 0 dimensions, 0 qualities, is innately at peace because it cannot be disturbed. Just like the screen on your phone can't be disturbed by the image in it, so too can you not be disturbed, you awareness not be disturbed by the content of your experience, the content of what is happening. This is where healing takes place. And when you see that, you realize, well, actually, I don't need to be healed. I am already healed. And now I will let the body and mind run their conditioning from the perspective of that which has already been healed, or already is the essence of healing. Point number 3 is that your intention has converted. So you've gone from, I just want to end suffering, or I just want to be healed, or I just want to X, Y, and Z, to I'm just genuinely interested in the truth. I just love it. I'm just passionate about it. I just want to know the truth. I just want to know the truth of my feelings. I just want to know the truth of my being. I just want to know the truth of my experience. I don't want to change it, right? If we're a scientist or we're exploring and we're genuinely interested and have a passion, scientists aren't going out there and trying to change a species, right? We do have that going on in the world, but scientists, they're going and observing because they're deeply interested in the experience of life, in the experience of animals. And that's all they're doing. Likewise, when we convert our interest to the desire to see the truth, then we purify all intentions. And by purifying our intentions, it means that there's only going to be a good result, because we're seeking the truth of experience rather than trying to change experience. And what we always find when we seek to know the truth about something is that we always find what we're looking for, if what we're looking for is the truth. You see? The next point is number 4, that you realize that consciousness and life are the same, and that its essence is happiness itself. That it's innate just by the nature of the sun shining, for example. The nature of the sun existing is to shine. The nature of consciousness is happiness, to shine happiness. That is the nature of it. If we were to just leave it to its own devices and not form into a human body, it's just pure happiness. We have collected ideas along the way that have caused separation from experience and a separate identity apart from consciousness, and we have created resistance. Resistance only happens when there's two. Resistance can't happen with one, right? Obviously, this is basic physics, right? You need two things to cause friction, which is what we call resistance. So that resistance in the example of life is formed when there are two. There's never really two, but the appearance of two, which is what we call the ego or the separate identity. So when we recognize that all there ever is happiness with intermittent parts of resistance, which we could call seeking, which we could call suffering, we notice that seeking, resisting, suffering are the same thing. They're three points of view of the same thing. Either we're seeking and resist it because we're resisting our experience, or we're suffering because we're resisting our experience, or we're resisting our experience and therefore seeking and suffering. The whole thing links. So when we recognize that happiness is the nature of experience, and that's all we're actually experiencing with intermittent levels of resistance, this is a pretty telltale sign that your personal growth has been very successful. Point number 5 is that you no longer need any validation or confirmation as to your state of being. You don't need to qualify whether you're enlightened. You don't need to qualify whether you're happy. No one can tell you that you're not happy. No one's going to say, oh, you seem really sad lately. You don't seem like a happy person. Like, no one's going to say that to you. And even if they did, it's just not going to make any difference to you. Do you see what I mean? Like, no one's going to be able to convince you of your state of being, right? Yes, it's okay to be sad. You can still be sad is pain in the moment, which is, in often cases, if someone's just died, it's necessary sadness. It's not unnecessary suffering, right? But no one's going to be able to convince you anymore, and you're not going to be looking for validation anymore from other people. Hopefully you don't need any more videos to confirm that. So then beyond this point is just this deep desire to know the truth. This deep desire to deepen the understanding of the truth, to deepen the understanding of out of pure interest. That's honestly the highest level of self-development that we can have, because it's, for one, there's no more self-development on a relative level in that way. But our intention is not to develop the self. The self can't be developed, right? It's like saying I develop the image on this screen by moving around the image inside it. It just doesn't work. The screen does not need to be developed, inasmuch so that empty space needs to be expanded. You cannot expand open empty space. It is already infinitely expanded. The same empty space here is the same empty space on the other side of the galaxy. It's the same space, right? So we can't grow, we can't expand, right? We put these ideas now behind us, because now what we're doing is we're simply deepening our understanding of the truth. We're deepening the understanding of these words. And this is where, like, you hit a singularity. If you want to talk on personal growth terms, this is the singularity. If you don't know what a singularity means, it's, to use an example, a technological singularity is when technology becomes so advanced that it like collapses in on itself, right? And it just becomes like super enhanced, you know? When your desire shifts from I want to improve, better myself, all these types of things that want to change who you are, when that turns into I just want to know the truth and I'm interested out of enjoyment, passion, love, and just because life's amazing, that is when you hit that singularity. And then anything that happens beyond that point, you're not trying to change anything. And guess what happens when you try to change things? You're back in resistance. You're back in, I need to change myself and my experience is not good enough. The whole point of any spiritual tradition is to get you to the point where you finally sit down one day and say, do you know what? This casual, usual state of mind that I've been trying to change for the past 25 years, I don't think I mind it anymore. I don't think I mind just my day-to-day regular waking experience of life. And that is when you know you have hit a very high point in your personal growth. There's not much else to do beyond that point. So this is how you can know for sure if your personal growth has been successful. Now, for those who want to deepen their understanding of the truth, I'm hosting a free program. It is completely free. It's going to be on School. You can apply on the link in the description. I host free calls every week. There's going to be meditations, Q&As, anything that you need. And there's going to be a free course, which I'm going to launch. To get early access, just click the link and click join. You've got to type in like an email or something. That's about it. And I'll be meeting you every single week. This is a place to build community. This is a place to build friendships on this level. If I was to ask, 100 people, how many conversations like this can you have on this level with friends? It's going to be few. It's going to be one to none, right? This is a place where we can find that community. This is a place where we can find that level of friendship. It's not about me being a guru. I don't give a fuck about spirituality. My path happened to be through spirituality. I care about the truth. I care about happiness, and I care about enjoying life with friends. This is what this community is about. It's called the Thought Dojo. Click the link and you can join. Okay. Aside from that, I think that's it. If you enjoyed, make sure subscribe, like if you feel like it. You know how much it helps a new channel. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you in the program. Cool. Take care. Bye.